Hey, welcome back everybody, back to the shop. We're gonna be doing an oil change on the boat today. Um, it's I didn't do it last year because there was like hardly any time on it whatsoever. It was like maybe 10 hours, maybe if that. So I didn't feel like doing it, but I'm gonna do it this year and do spark plugs and obviously the oil filter. Down here in the engine compartment, I'm gonna be pulling this dipstick. This black Fortec cover just pops off. There is on this oil filter, there's like a Torx there, but an 8mm does fit on it perfectly, so that's not an issue. I will be probably unplugging the injectors also, so because you have to crank this thing over when you get towards the bottom of the oil. So a few years ago, I bought this here. It's basically like a vacuum bottle, and you're gonna stick this long thing down the dipstick tube and just pump out, vacuum out all the oil. And this is where the point is: when you get it all out, you're gonna have to crank the engine over a little bit in order to get all of the oil out, because some of it is in the oil filter area. Let's pull this dipstick. And at this point, you could pull these plugs out right now. I probably, like I said, will undo these injectors just so that it doesn't do fuel while I'm cranking it. Okay, so I have all the spark plugs out. The coils are unplugged, but I did drop just the coils loosely back in the holes, just so you don't drop nothing into the cylinder hole, into the spark plug hole. This is in the dipstick tube, and I did unplug the injectors. You just press this little thing down and just pull it off. Now you literally just pull this up and down. It puts vacuum on the bottle, and it is sucking through this tube into here. And it takes a little bit, but there's nothing you can do about that. So we are at the bottom. It's all the way down. We're sucking air. So now I'm going to turn the engine over for about 10 seconds, and it should pump oil back into the pan. I would pull this up first in case, so it doesn't hit anything rotating in there. All right, so I got all the oil out. I did the crank engine with no plugs in it 5 times to get all the oil out. So one thing I will say, it's not a bad idea to put those spark plugs, boots, in the holes if you're just working on it. But when I cranked it over, I did prop them up so that there was an air gap, but that wasn't enough. They all shot out of the holes, and 2 of them went under the engine. So I had to take these things off here to go fish for them. So I got them all now. So now I'm going to put the spark plugs in. Spark plugs are right here, and the gap is supposed to be 28 thousandths. Also, for these, you're gonna have to pull the tops off. They just twist off. You can just grab them with I just grab them with these vice grips and unscrew the tops just like a regular nut. All right, so I have them all plugged back in. You just press them down till they you'll hear them grab onto that top of that stud, that spark plug, until they bottom out, and then just plug these fuel injectors back in. And then I'm going to drop the dipstick back in, and then I can do this oil filter. Alright, I have the new filter in there. It fits in, like, there's a thing in the bottom of it with a ridge on it that the round end slides over and centers it. So it stays in the middle there. Got new O-rings on this piece here. And then the bolt that holds it down has a new O-ring that goes there that seals it on the cap. And then now you just put this back on and tighten it up. Alright, so I have this bolted down to 100 inch-pounds of torque. And all I have to do now is just put the oil in it. Alright, so it took this entire 3.785 liters of oil, and it's full perfectly. It's going to show over full. You just have to start it up for about 5 seconds and shut it off, and then it'll drop down because it'll fill the oil filter, and then you're good to go. So coming in the near future, I am going to put an intercooler on here. It's external intercooler compared to the internal that's on the intake. I'm just trying to figure out, because it's designed for a ski, so the boat version I just have to make a bracket to hold the intercooler up, but that's going to be coming up. I want to at least take it out one time this year before I get into that, but I was worried about getting to the fuel pump. Under the floor here, under these snaps, there is a trap door, right, and the fuel pump's right underneath it. I have to change the fuel pressure regulator to an adjustable that adjusts fuel pressure up per PSI of boost. So since I can get to it right here, no problem. I was kind of worried when I saw it underneath this hole here. I didn't know what to do. So, and I just noticed that door. I also am going to be changing the impeller and changing the pitch a little bit. But anyway, that's all I got for the oil change on this. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, mainly sucking it out, and it's just the tight quarters, and would have been done quicker for me. You guys didn't know, but not dropping those spark plug boots down under the motor. So like I said, just don't do what I did with the spark plug boots. I thought by just lifting them up, I had propped up so that there was air could blow around them, but it still was so much, it just blew them right out of the hole. And then the coil packs fell under the middle of the engine, so they're hard to reach. Maybe in a ski it wouldn't be so bad, but in a boat you got a little less room, so I had to take the seats out on the sides so I could get under there. Actually, I was able to get one, and I probably could have got the other one, but I just couldn't see it because of the lighting. So, but yeah, I probably will do the impeller first and then the intercooler. Now that I kind of looked at it, some things were a little different than I thought, so maybe it won't be so bad. I just have to make a bracket to hold the intercooler, you know, solidly, so that you know, it doesn't, you know, push the hoses off or whatever. It's just got to be held up stable. So yeah, I will be getting to that. So please like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one.